Hello, this is Jessica McKay, and I wanted to give you a short tutorial on how you can connect with deceased loved ones. I really believe that when we die, it's not the end. And the reason I believe this is not because I've read that in books or other people believe it and it seems like a nice thing to believe. I know this is true because I've taken some mediumship classes and I have been blown away by the accuracy of the messages that have come through for people. And I'm going to just share with you some really great ways that you can connect. If there's someone who has passed that you miss and you love, you can absolutely be with them and sit in their energy and just sit with them. It does take practice to get a specific message, and that's usually because we are trying so hard to get a message that it's almost like we're trying so hard that we can't hear anything. And one thing I know from doing readings is that you can't try too hard. You have to just relax and let the information come. You just let it flow. So that's the biggest area usually where people need to practice. So be patient with yourself as you start this. So the exercise is one that uses your imagination. And imagination is an amazing thing because it's a blank canvas that everybody has to create whatever we want using it. So I could tell you to close your eyes right now and imagine that you're walking on the beach. And you could do that. You could create that experience for yourself if you know what it's like to walk on a beach. You can see that in your mind. You can hear the waves crashing. Anything I suggest, like maybe you're walking through a forest and feel the breeze on your face, you can create that experience for yourself. And if you've done any kind of guided meditations, then you know what I'm talking about. So the thing about your imagination, though, is that your spirit guides and your deceased loved ones also have to use that blank canvas of your mind to send you messages. So the only difference is that they're giving you the message, you're not making it up. So a lot of times when people start out trying to connect, they worry that they're making all of this up. So don't worry about that. You're not making it up. You are going to create the space, the safe space for your spirit guides and for your loved ones to meet you. And then whatever messages you get, once you make that connection, those messages are real. They are absolutely real. So you're going to close your eyes and you're going to create a safe space in your mind that belongs to you and you alone. So for me, it's a room that I go to every time I want to give a reading to someone. I go to this room in my mind and I know just how it's decorated. I've created what I want there. There's a fireplace, there's a beautiful window. It's whatever makes you feel good and whatever makes you feel that this is your place. You put the colors on the walls that you want. And then when you're ready, and I have a big chair that I sit in the middle of the room, you invite your loved ones in and you see who shows up. Now for this exercise, to make it really specific, imagine that there's a dining room table in your space. And imagine that this dining room table only comes out when you want to talk to your deceased loved ones. So the spirit world gets the message when you start imagining that table in your mind and you're sitting at the head of the table. You put yourself at the head of the table and you call your deceased loved ones in and you see who shows up at the table. And just see what happens. No pressure. Don't apply too much expectation onto this. Just see who comes. And you might be really surprised. If you feel like nothing's happening, don't get discouraged. just keep going to this place and having the intention for your loved ones to join you there. So that is the first exercise. A fun way to practice with this is to practice getting a message with a friend. So find somebody in your life who trusts you to practice getting a message from their deceased loved ones. So what you'll do is you'll go to that room in your mind and you will put your friend at the head of the table and ask their loved ones to come and take a seat at the table. And you can just say, anyone related to my friend who has a message for her, please come to the table. And you should start seeing people immediately. And like I said, if you feel like it's not happening, that's okay. Just give yourself space to practice with this. So that's the exercise. Now, if you want to connect with one specific person, say there's someone that you love who passed away that you miss so much, then it's a little different. You don't have to necessarily go to that room in your mind, but there's something else you can do. And this is also for people who are not that visual, because I've had people say to me, I can't conjure up anything in my mind, a room, or I can't see anything. And sometimes people aren't visual, and that's okay. So this exercise is for you if that pertains to you too. So what you'll do is, wherever you are, just close your eyes and ask a loved one to come behind you. Ask the person that you want from Spirit, the one you want to connect with. Ask them to come behind you and put their hand on your shoulder. And don't worry, you're not going to actually feel a physical touch on your shoulder, but you'll feel it energetically. And what I mean by that is that you will become aware. Your senses will become aware that there's a presence, there's an energy. And again, your mind is going to want to say that you're making it up, but you're not. So just allow this energy to come close to you. Allow your loved one and imagine them. You know, if you're having trouble feeling it, imagine it. That soul in spirit is going to react to your thoughts, to your imagining them behind you, and they will come behind you. So why do they come from behind you? This is something that we used to practice in our mediumship class. It was easier sometimes to have a tap on the shoulder than it was to see somebody in front of you. So this just allows for more flexibility. If you're trying too hard, you want to allow Spirit to just gently occupy the same space that you're in and almost feel like you're putting on a blanket of what it was like to be that person. What was it like to be my mother, my grandmother? And imagine them, just imagine them behind you, and then ask them if they have any messages for you. Sit with them. And if you're not trying too hard to get anything, because this isn't about trying, mediumship and doing readings, it's about allowing. It's not about trying, it's about allowing it in. So it's a subtle difference. Allow yourself to be open. That's all you're doing. This is not about your mind trying to get an answer to a question. This is about allowing it to reveal itself to you. So that's another thing to practice. So I hope that you have fun with these exercises. Please let me know how it goes.